what's going on for weeks. There's a lot of printers that I have to turn on. Um, and it's like I walk in and I'm searching for stuff, have no idea. I mean, I'm not complaining in any way. Wow, man, I cannot even get to the printers back there. So printers go this way and then through there. There, I'm gonna hide. Let's see, hide. I don't know how I would do that right there. There is still Jody's printer up there that I can't get. I can't get out of here. It's like literally trapped. So it's been about I don't know 9 days that I have maybe longer, 2 weeks that I have not turned on the Epson S80600. And I don't think that anybody in the country has had a Ken, there's no way I'm gonna find that dongle. I forgot about that dongle. Nobody in the country has had an Epson S8600 that they've just had turned off, but um, I can't print right now, so I'm like constantly freaking out because there are two print heads in the Epson S8600 that cost about $1,875 each. And this printer has a very expensive warranty, but I never want to use my warranty on a print head. A print head is it's an expendable, you know, I mean, you want to use your warranty when there's a motherboard issue, there's a problem with the motor. Print head on any of these printers, you can put them in, or Epson will come to you. And I bought this printer a long time, well, not a long time ago. You guys saw when I had it delivered from my buddy, and I would have got it on Friday, but we got there and the sun went down, and he is a Torah observing Jew, and he's like, sorry, I don't do business on Fridays. And I'm like, yeah, man, no problem, it's sundown. Ah, man, I really needed this stuff right here. So, you know, it's sundown, so my wives and I, we had to wait in Port Arthur, New York, Port Authority or something like that, New York, to get this printer here. So you always want to use your warranty on something other than a print head, because, you know, once you use it, you're done. So you use your warranty when you're absolutely broke on a print head. I know that sounds crazy, man, but most of my friends on here, viewers, you're going to want to use your warranty when your print head goes down. And I always think, man, just buy a new one. You know, it's the cost of the business. I buy them just like you. The problem is this thing has two print heads. And the last time that I had it working, I was printing white with white ink and on clear media and making clear stickers. And of course now the I think that's so outdated. You know, you just don't need it anymore because UV-DTF stepped in and I believe annihilated the eco-solvent label market. And I know we're both going to argue. I just saw water fall straight down. So, wow. So I haven't turned on my printer, and you know, that's the bad thing about cancer. And I tell people, I am still under a no lift order, and otherwise I could get a pallet jack and just pallet this stuff backwards. There's some days that I feel really good and I can do stuff, and some days, man, I'm just like vomiting like you can't imagine. And it gets me to another point. Hold on, somebody. Thanks. I don't know Amanda. I'm too stoned for that, you know. I often, man, you know, any of you friends out there, can you just call me and be like, hey, Ernest, because I often wonder, right? Like my wives, they can't keep their hands off of me. But when you have cancer and you're my age, right, you just don't feel attractive at all. Like, is that normal? I mean, I'm always ready to have babies, you know. My wife's carrying one now, like, just because I have cancer, I'm not going to stop. Come what be, God is good. And, anyways, man, I don't really have any friends to ask that to, so it's just something I wonder. Now, back to the print head thing. I got to print these signs for a gas station, and it's very expensive material. And I'm trying, like, I have really, I have a lot of people that want to buy printers, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to sell you a printer, man. Now I understand why companies like DTF Superstore and many of these companies out there, why all of a sudden they just quit selling Chinese units. And it's because Mamaki said, you know, we'll come out with the DTF printer that's slower than the Epson 7890. Man, I get bitched out by people for the Epson 7890, and I'm like, dude, there's people selling the Mamaki TJX 150 right now for $15,000, you know, and I'm selling you the last two printers that I sold for $2,500. It's cheaper than the Pro Colored 3000 or any of those printers. What a deal, you know? I'm like, I just want to be done. I don't want to step into a room with the powder and I'll come back with DTF when DTF is powderless, when goddamn Cobra Flex takes off the damn hold to the patent that they got. They're the ones that are helping kill many people. I got to say that correctly. By holding the patent, you cause people to not be able to use powderless, and I hope that's correct. I mean, I remember him telling me on this channel when I was at a convention, he's like, we have the patent on the powderless process. And I'm like, well, damn, that makes no sense. You know, I got cancer directly related from the powder, right? So, I mean, wouldn't you release the product so people don't harm themselves? I don't know. I don't want to come near the product. And I have, you know, customers that are like, they're doing it in their apartment. I'm like, yo, dog, I ain't fucking stepping foot into there, man. Absolutely not. That actually hurt. So, anyways, I'm going to nozzle check, and I have no idea what the nozzle check is going to be or where it's going to be at. So, back to the two printhead problem, right? These are very expensive printheads. And I think that that could be one of the, well, no, they're i3200s, but the reason that they stopped, I think, bringing in Asian printers because we all did it, right? We all brought in two head units, and man, they were kind of complicated to run, but Mamaki and a few other companies in America have stepped forward and they have said, you know, hey, listen, we're going to introduce the TJX 150, and that's 15,000, and it's very slow, right? And then there are companies like Uninet that said, hey man, we can get a 3-head printer or 4-head printer into your business that's faster than the Epson 7890 or the Epson P6000, and the print heads cost $500 and you may blow one every 6 months. And I look at that and I said, that is the most incredible thing I've ever heard. I mean, at that, I've had printers, Epson 7900, man, I'm killing it on them, you know? And I don't know, the head just goes out and you're like, dude, I don't have time to fight with a blown head. Can I get the channel back? You got 2 days to perform, or I'm just going to go pull another unit out and start again. But thankfully, I haven't had to do that. Now, which would you rather have, right? You'd rather, if you're the person just getting into DTF, right? You don't want to start with a 7890 unless you already have an amazing imagination in mind. You know, it's everything clicks electronically because they are faster than the Mimaki. Now, would you rather get started and spend a little bit more and get something faster than the 7890, but it has multiple heads, right? So if you blow one head on a 7890, you're probably going to blow one on a XP600 or an i3200. You know, it just happens, man. I mean, users are bad with heads. So the worst thing that you can do with a head is turn your printer off, which I have done on a printer with 2 print heads. You know, if you're in the Boston market, man, help a brother out, man. Help me get this printer into a location somewhere where it can run next to my laminator, even though I think that lamination and eco-solvent are dead. I really think that UVDTF just stepped in for a lower price and is an amazing product. I am floored with it. If I was going to get started in the business, I don't think I'd buy an eco-solvent. I'd buy a UVDTF because of the applications. And so I could put letters right on these glasses and they would be so small. It's just a good product. So that's what I would do. Now we're talking about 2 heads that are, ooh, you know, $1,785. Somebody, if you will, look up how much does an Epson S80600 printhead cost. We don't want to know, right? So we're going to go check it out. I mean, I really need some other stuff. I'm not complaining at all. Please, if anybody's watching, I am not complaining about at least having somewhere where my equipment can be. I mean, you know, there's like no way that I could push this storage bill off on my family, even under recovery. The worst part about recovery for cancer is the nausea, and I'm still fighting growths. Man, I just can't get through here. Let me turn you around so you can see I cannot get through. I mean, we're just there. Yeah, so there's no way I would be bringing equipment or anything through. Like I can't push up against my chest to get through. I may be able to walk through here. And again, I am like literally not complaining, right? God is good. Yeah, so equipment is trapped. And, you know, the next room is like 35 refurbished units, and I just can't get them out. Like, there's no way back through there without having to move stuff. So, you know, it's like, do you want to have a bunch of refurbished old printers, or do you want customer service that when something goes wrong with your printer or the rip and the operation, you can just pick up a phone or send an email and have amazing customer service? You know, you'd want speed, in my opinion. Let me burn through a roll of material, and it kind of hurts to move around, but what's going on, everybody? The time is brutal. Like, I can't even operate heat presses for long duration of times. I have to print banners. Remy, if you're watching, brother, from Hingham, you know, gas station, dude, I'll get to you when I can, I guess, man. If you're in Boston, man, I need to put a badass printer somewhere, but let's see how. That's another thing in Boston, dude. The rent is just, it makes it to where, you know, I can pay for a rent in the apartment or go run a shop again. Dude, it's not worth it, I don't think. I don't know. Let's take a look back and see if the eco-solvent is clogged or not. It'd be really nice if I could access my flash somehow. Oh, you can. Epic. Oh, the ink is getting pretty low. I got to find all the cartridges. I think I got a white up here. My God, I just thought of something. The cartridges are all in boxes somewhere. Holy shit. That's brutal. Let's see what happens here. Flash. Where am I gonna find the boxes at, man? We'll just have to see where it prints. So your colors on the Eco Solvent that go first are usually your orange and the red. And you know, the cool thing about Eco Solvent is that they just want to run and work and work. And it's like, you know, I mean, maybe the take up, oh no, the problem is the printer has to come all the way out so I can change the material and then come all the way in. And then my 9470 is sitting over here, the sublimation printer. Thank God the, you know, we were able to get the heat press put away for this as well, so. Dude, you know, printers this big, and unless you have an adequate shop for it, you know, they are pretty much like nightmares. Not really, but I mean, I'm just gonna nozzle check it. I have no idea where it's at, so I could print right over something as well. But I don't have a choice. I gotta print this gas station material up, you know, and he's a buddy, so I like donated a lot of work to him. And you know, to print perf material 70-30 and then laminate it to a specific shape of like, you know, 38 and 40 inches is a lot of work. It requires you to move equipment all over. And let's see what the print head just took off over there. So let's see what is going on over here. We'll have to forward it out. So what it just printed, I think right there, yeah, where it double printed. And it looks like that date is, can't see that far away, you know. I think it's gonna be this one here. I don't know. I don't know, I can't read it. Let's print it again then. See that freaking thing over there? That used to hold my iPad, but I can't get near it. So we're gonna try to aim right in the middle of that. Uh-oh. I expect orange to be out and red. Just because those are always the two channels that bother me. Let's take a look at it. Come on down to Papa. And like this little dot that you see right here, the skip in the line, that'll come back because never have I had a problem with cyan right there. This is just from inactivity, but this is what you don't want to do with your printer, is to let it just sit there and not be used. All those nozzle checks look perfect. So 627, and then 711. My son came in and did this here. Where's my handout? So 711. My son came in and printed while I was gone. See, there was a skip in the magenta, but you know, of course now there's not. It is time on the sublimation printer to do a maintenance, but I can't get to it. I can't get to the printer. It is what it is. But I guess in all cases I could print stickers, and then I do come in and print other wraps, and I turn on the take-up wheel. Appreciate it, USA official. I don't know if it's content or survival. I'm at the point now, where if somebody asked me, would you buy an eco-solvent printer? I would be thinking in my mind, probably not, because there are so many people that print with eco-solvent, right? What I would buy before, and you guys are going to think I'm crazy here, man. Uh, Before I think I would buy an eco-solvent printer, I would buy an equally large cutter, right? So I'd start with the 64-inch cutter, because adding a 64-inch cutter on is like already $5,000. Um, I'd start with a cutter, because I could always call somebody up and say, hey man, if I send you a graphic, can you print it? And then I would learn how to use Adobe to create my cut files, or if you're already doing it in any of your programs, you want to print as a PDF and save the file, and then you can send it to somebody like me when I can normally print and laminate, or somebody else, and then you're not spending money on a $25,000 printer that is this thing right here. Every time I see this, I see Seymour, feed me Seymour, Little Shop of Horrors. Man, that's all it wants to do is eat. The cartridges are like $200 a pop. I have people all over the region. They're like, Ernest, print from me. I ordered from a big print shop, man. They cannot hit your reds. Ernest, we can't get our oranges right. And those are hard colors to get. And I mastered the art of eco-solvent white printing. It's so fucking hard to create spot colors in white or other colors that you're using. Oh man, it hit my head really hard. Or in other colors that you're using. It just takes so much practice to get it down right. So I would probably not buy a eco-solvent printer. The cutter you can put in your living room. Eco-solvent, I got to get out of here. The gas from the eco-solvent is like very evident. Yeah, I got all my. There's so many printers everywhere. They're like a curse. You can make so much money with them, but they're a curse in my life. Brother, I still do street activism, man. I am still that same guy. That I have some on YouTube. Just go back and watch my street activism. It's really on here from just a couple of weeks ago. So I stay involved. But since over the past 2 months, I've taken a break from all activism. Like, I don't care if the world's bombing each other, you know. And I used to be very concerned with all that. And all I'm doing now is in survival mode. I'm in still a very vicious fight with this cancer. I should have never started DTF printing, or we should appeal to the patent holders. Hey, give Brother Ernest a temporary use on the patent so he can print, powderless, which is just an adhesive, liquid adhesive that goes over every dot that you drop, every color dot that you drop, and white dot as well. Doesn't last long as DTF, but then that gets me thinking, right? We're all in the business of selling shirts, man. What the hell do we want to be selling shirts that last 150 washes for? Like, seriously, oh, it's not a good year this year. Why not? All my customers, they don't need shirts. It's hilarious, but DTF just lasts freaking forever, man. It's unpenetrable. So the powderless solution only goes through, 20 washes maybe. I've even seen people scratch it off with their fingers, and it is what it is, you know. So I won't be able to print tonight. Um, it's that bad. There's so much stuff. I could move it all. Like, I feel terrible, man. I went down with boxes everywhere. I just saw a drip of water again. Let's turn this way and see if we can see it together. I think it was there. I mean, I'm pretty sure. It'd be like right up yonder. I have the power. There's one little microscopic drip on the ground. I mean, everything is strategically placed to miss the droplets. See, like that little droplet, what a place to put it, you know. Everything is strategic. Well, I can't print, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out, man. There's nothing I can do. It's weird, man. It's so weird how I think the shift of selling DTF printers, you know, on the market that we're selling them, buying used printers, you know, all these printers come out of CVS and Walgreens. So it's not a bad place to get them, but sometimes it's not a good place to get them because when we get them, they're very used. They print so many photos. Always try, right? Well, you can't because you don't have the contract, man. I got to tell you, dude, it's ridiculous what they do with all these printers when they come out of the CVS's and Walmart. Man, they send them to Nigeria or they destroy them. And it's terrible, dude. I mean, but it takes a lot of money to store them. And that's the whole point, man. I don't know how to store 50 printers that we have just in this building alone, or this little shop alone right here. It's terrible, dude. It's terrible wherever they are because, like, I don't want to sell too many. I just try to sell printers to friends, dude, because people get so pissed. And that's why I used to wonder, man, why would DTF quit selling printers like Oddly and stuff that they import from China? Why would they sell them for slower printers? Because they don't have to deal with the people's problems, right? They're there to set them up and move along, you know. Hey, you got your printer, you got a problem with it, man, you call Mamaki. You got a problem with the printer, I don't answer those, you know, call the RIP company. And the way that we were doing it in my mind was, you know, so 2020, because you have to like walk beside a person literally with their daily work. And maybe not now because there's so many awesome videos on those printers. So many awesome videos that many of you have made that help people. My printers feed me Seymour. Did you hear that? The damn thing's turning on and drinking ink. There's so many good videos that are out there. Dude, that hurts. So when you're not there, so I haven't been there in 11 days, right? And that's only time I was there to print a nozzle check. You just can't get through the area. Every time that that printer turns on, it's flushing ink right down the drain. Which is another thing, you got to come here and make sure the bucket's empty, because if not, you'll have eco-solvent ink all over the floor, dude, and it could be bad. I don't know what it would ever look like because it's never happened to me. So yeah, the service and support, and that's why I just said to people, man, I'm going to start referring you guys to Uninet, because Uninet has incredible support, man. I mean, unless somebody wants to buy a printer and they figure it out, Ernest, man, you got an Epson 7890 and you're only selling them for $2,250. Yeah, man, because the last one that I sold to a girl, I put a $2,000 printhead in, made $250 on it, And all the ink supplies and all that cost me right at $1,000 because I buy that stuff just like you do. You know, I don't sell ink or anything anymore, so the cartridges already, you know, they cost $350. Now you got to buy, you know, 6 liters of ink plus 2 white, so 8 liters of ink. 8 liters of ink now, those are $770. So 7 times 8, that's $560. Your cartridges are $325. Your ink is $560, not including shipping, you know. Right there, you're at $900. Now you got to add on your cartridge resetters. You've got to add on your maintenance resetters. Those are $75 each, man. And that's still not even beginning. You got to give somebody film. You got to give somebody powder. You know, it's like before you know it, it costs you over $1,000 to set this person up with the printer. And I mean, their street value of these printers alone are $5,000, especially if you get them with, you know, 7 nozzle, perfect nozzle checks. 8 is a dead channel, man. $5,000 because you'll make 50 grand on them. So when I'm just popping them out, you know, $2,250, I don't care. I don't want them, you know. I see what their purpose is. Wouldn't it be better for a company like Uninet out there to just really say, you know what, we've got the support, we've got the manpower, we've got the availability for you to invest in a printer in 1 year service. We should be able to teach you how to use it in 1 year, or you can teach yourself. Now, these companies can't give you a lot of time, right? And that's where, you know, somebody like me, if you have a 7890 or 7900, you know, somebody like me, I can come out and, you know, help you solve the problem. I won't pay for it, right? But I mean, anybody will tell you if there's somebody that knows every company that sells the Epson P600 today or 6000 today for DTF, every company that sells the Epson 7890 that are out there today, I've either sold them printers or I'm like a level of support that their support calls, hey, Ernest, we got this problem. What do you think, man? The easiest way to, I never tell them the easy way to solve it. I do because they don't want to hear it, but I'm like, okay, dude, the easy way to solve this problem is just pop in another freaking printhead, dude. Man, they're trying to save the printhead, dude. Hey, listen, dude, I don't have time for it, man. Do you replace a pump cap assembly? No, no, Ernest. If you get air in the lines, do you replace your cartridge? No, Ernest. We just can't get a nozzle check back, you know. And many people call me and say, Ernest, you know why I went with the Uninet system, and I know why. I got tired of chasing a nozzle check, and I'm like, you know, I mean, truthful information. You chase nozzle checks in these Epson printers, and you know, sometimes everything's fine. Other times you just say, man, it's time to pop in a new printhead. You know, $2,250. I sold one to a lady for $2,550 because I put a pump cap assembly on them and dropped it off. You guys were with me when I dropped it off late that night. At you know, $2,500, they're cheaper than or less expensive than, you know, L1800s. And it's just like, I'm so terrified to sell these. I have my own customers, hey, Ernest, I'd like to buy a printer again. I'm like, no, dude, you gave me a heart attack, like literally. You know, every person that's ever bought one of these printers, you know, even McLeod's customers call me up like, I'm gonna sue them, you know. And I'm like, yo, bro, man, it's just a printer, dude. It's very inexpensive printer in light of all things. It's more, I tell them all the time, man. That's great, man, Jaden. That's epic. You know, brother, I take both of my wives, they have oxygen tanks now, because my beard's so beautiful it takes their breath away. Now, the doctor, my cancer doctor, um, my cancer doctor saved my beard. I'm so grateful to Dr. Gogan. Um, right on my Facebook, I was like, Dr. Gogan, you cannot shave my beard. The Torah forbids you to shave my beard. And she's like, I already told you about that. And then all of a sudden, the anesthesiologist just puts it on my face. And I remember her saying, well, maybe and she was able to tie my beard up. And of course, yeah, I don't know if you can see how bad the scar, I see it already. It just starts here and it goes way over there. I got another one to go through right here, man. I'm telling you, God is good still. So my beard hides the growths that are caused by cancer. So I'm talking to printers. So unless you're a printer, you know, what are you going to do? The woes of the printer, man. I got to get these printers out. I've had a couple of people say, hey, Ernest, I'd like to buy that Epson printer. And I'm like, dude, I would be afraid to sell it because, you know, from here to there, I can't lift anymore. You'd have to come get it. Nobody wants to drive that far to come get printers. So I don't know, man. I think going the route where there's better customer service is the best way to go about it. I mean, surely you're at the rate of $10,000 minimum, $10,000 to buy a printer, or that's just a three head, $10,995, I believe is what it is, your entry level printer before you get into a multi-head market. And here I'm scrubbing around bottom earth, fucking meanest tiereth, you know, selling Epson P7890s, you know, for no profit at all at $2,500. And then $2,500, dude, people become like a ball and chain, dude. There's so many videos out there, man. Thanks, brother. J-Dub. Yeah, I'm going blind as well. J-Dub, there's so many printers out there, you know, that people can get that are like the Epson P600. You find one, great, let me DTF in it and just blow the damn thing up. You know, people are like $2,500 and $3,000. And sure, it's a lot of money. I don't have $3,000 now. I have a bunch of printer debt. You know, storing printers is never a task anybody wants to do. And dude, man, my friend Michael is just like amazing, amazing, amazing. Trying to get this trade school in Framingham opened up, and it's like you got to have city approval. We've gone through city approval. And, you know, I just have a dream to put all of these printers in one place. Plus, I got an embroidery machine back there. I mean, I can't turn it on because I don't have the power, you know, all sorts of machines that I've never turned on. I have a rhinestone machine back there. It does like 8 colors, electric, 220 power. I've just never turned it on. People, that I don't know, I guess I collect weird things, but they're worthless. They're just old, you know. Other than that, man, you turn a printer on, it's going to drink a lot, and you're going to need a lot of support. And that's why I don't sell them anymore. I just, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at that amount. I'm selling you a printer and you're bothering me for $2,500 and the, you know, $1,200 worth of startup supplies. And that doesn't mean if you're some of my friends. I just want to say, like Miss Kara, I don't mean you. If Calca, I checked on the box for a 22-incher. Sorry, a 2-inch diameter. If they sent you one bigger, just use cut sheets. It's great paper. Please don't be upset at me. I don't even know where to find my film material. I know that there are 17 4900s here that were perfectly nozzle checked before I went into the hospital. And they could still be here somewhere. Yeah, right up here. There's a couple. There's a couple right up there. I mean, I got to get up to those units because those are incredible DTF machines. They're not as good as the 7800 or 7900, but man, they can make you, you know, 50, 60,000 a year. You just have to be on them. So I've got small, I've got small UV DTF printers that I've never turned on. All right, there's nothing I can do. It was fun while it lasted, right? But I can take this Rapid Tack with me because I have a cutter that goes everywhere. And, you know, the main thing that I'm trying to do with this trade school is just, you know, get my children involved in a way of printing that is not, you know, something that I control. Because I don't think they'll ever get involved in it at that. They have too many nightmares about this printer and people showing up at our doors pissed off because their printer lost a red. Oh my God. You know, when a printer loses a nozzle, that's what I was going to show you guys when I started. When a printer loses a nozzle check, don't chase the nozzle check. Don't run cleaning after cleaning after cleaning after cleaning, right? You don't really even have to clean. You want to print your way out of it. That's what I always tell people, print your way out of it. And they're like, what? The nozzle's clogged. And I'm like, well, was it printing the day before? Yes. Well, there's barometric pressure, other things. Print your way out of it. So Epson recommends that if your nozzle clogs, don't run a cleaning for 5 days. And nobody wants to pay attention to that. They're like, DT, I think my printout will clog. Yeah, but if you don't run a cleaning and you can clean the bottom of the print head, you know, you'll survive a little longer. I'm sure my print heads are really dirty, but I don't want to look. So I'm going to close it down, say goodnight, and it just, you know, you can make more money as a printer salesperson if you refer somebody over to a company, multiple companies I can refer printers over to and have just phenomenal support without having the warehouse of it all. I maybe one day I'll get there, but I don't think I'll ever buy up used printers again, even if they come from Epson and Fuji and CVS and Walgreens and Walmart, because these are 15-year-old printers and people want to act like they're made in 2025. I'm like, these are 15-year-old photographic printers. Why are you calling me telling me that you don't know how to put your paper in? You're getting a paper error. Why would I care about that? You know, oh, Ernest, you know, I lose a color. You know, you lose a color, just sit on it. Don't chase the nozzle check. I'm going to sue you, Ernest, because my red is out. What on earth did this industry produce but a bunch of printer wimp asses? You know, I mean, like, seriously, dude, if you're selling a printer, you're probably laughing your ass off, but seriously, man, dude, I don't even know people. They go out and buy a $50,000 car. Do they ask the fucking salesman, will you please teach me how to change my battery? Well, you know, I got a service garage for that. Will you please teach me how to do this? Hey, I don't know how to put the gas nozzle in. Fuck, man, seriously? You know, Ernest, how do I fill up my cartridges? Well, you know, the reason I never really made a full good video cartridge is this black fella on YouTube made a very good video on how to do it. My friend The Print House, I think is his name, made some great videos on it. Maybe, I think that's him. So I don't know. My Epson S80600 is in good shape, right? It is just sitting there protected, but it is drinking ink viciously, and you cannot turn the printer off. The moment you turn the printer off, right, it's going to wake up and say, I need more ink, and go through a 3.5-minute cleaning. Right now they go through about a 15-minute cleaning. To refill all the cartridges are, let's take a look, each one is what, $175, $200. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 cartridges, if you can see that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's $1,000, man. Smells like eco-solvent ink over there. All right, so good night. I love you all, man. The struggling and the struggles of a guy that was crazy to buy a bunch of damn old printers. I seriously could have sold drugs or something and made the same amount of money without the headaches. I mean, maybe not, but I could never do anything like that. But I could have sold pot. You know, you guys remember when you were here with me and I had, you know, 50 deep rows, or 50 rows by 10 rows of plants, 50 deep, 10 rows. Man, that was best life ever. Right now it's a struggle. Every morning I wake up, which friend do I have is going to be mad at me because their nozzle went down, or their ink got thin or something like that. I don't know, man. Jeez. Good night, everybody. Sorry to keep you up. Oh, by the way, how much are your DTF? So the DTFs are on Uninet. They're not mine. I will never they're on Uninet under the UV DTF 3000. Okay. I think they run right at about $12,995. But what you're going to need that they don't tell you is you definitely need to either come to me, which means you're going to come into my house, and don't worry, I'm not radioactive. I'm going to go through a series of time where I'm not radioactive. But you learn how to use this machine because it's got the multiple take-up wheels, and even I had a head strike that could have blown my printer right off. I mean, I just wasn't paying attention, and I forgot to turn the back take-up wheel on for the lamination. Had a head strike, and it was bad, dude. Right on a live. So you definitely want service and technician on the setup, but they have pretty good service, man. They'll video in with you and help you set it up. And but you have to remember one thing about all these companies is that they want you to use ink, film, and material because that's how they make money. The printer's really a lost leader. And that's where I never made money anyways. Like if you buy a printer, like I'm like, I don't care where you get your ink from. I'm not going to sell it to you because I don't want to be the problem. And why? Like if you see cheap printers out there, they're giving them away to get you to buy their ink. And me, I'm like giving a printer away at like 2,500. Man, I used to sell these things for $10,000 with switch out on site, no questions asked. I get you another one, bring it back, I repair yours, send it on out. And now at 2,500, dude, what the hell do you think I can do? I'm selling them for the cost of the head to get them the hell out of here. So there's no burden of storage. It's always on me. But every one that I get out, I become a prisoner to. Man, I don't know. So you become a prisoner, man. I mean, literally, because people don't, they're like, I've never seen anybody in any industry. I mean, I bought golf clubs that cost more than printers. And I never terrorize people like that, So I don't know. It's a world where a bunch of home cricket mamas and cricket papas, bought a little cricket machine, and now they want to jump into DTF and print in these small, tiny little environments and do exactly what I did and go down a cancer route. I mean, I got customers right now that are like, Ernest, please come set my dryer up. And I'm like, brother, I will FaceTime you, man. I'm not going near powder. I don't need to. And if I do, you better have some masks or something and a lot of cannabis because I will be paranoid as hell, man. And I even had companies call me up, hey, Ernest, we'd like to send you a printer. Dude, no, I don't want to do powder. I can order transfers from any of my friends. I mean, I can always go to Eddie over at Aspen Casual and say, Eddie, I need transfers, dude. I can go to anybody that I've sold printers to, but they're always too busy. That's a damn problem with these printers. You get started, they're easy to print with if you have a little bit of a technical knowledge. So I don't know. I don't know how I got into that. Right now I'm saved of 2 print heads. I'm not going to have to buy new ones. I'm going to go home and I'm going to lay down with my wives. By the time I get home, it's an hour away. My shop is, I don't have a shop anymore. The previous shop is 1 hour away from where I live. And my printers are trapped behind here. So I don't know if you can see them way over there. Right, there's one over there. One over there. The big heat press, the Geonite is in another unit over there. Man, if you have a shop in Boston, right, you want to partner up with me, I've got some epic equipment. I've been waiting on this trade school and the city approval, dude, and they're dragging their ass. And all I want to do is just move printers so I have a place to stretch out and print with. It's so hot in here. It's like 95 degrees because there's no airflow. Now, do I have the keys? Hopefully I make it home. I'm dying of thirst. I'm dying anyways. If you guys need... You're in New York City. Oh, man, I'd love to set you up out there if you're interested in buying one, right? I don't make anything on the printer. But I'd love to come and set you up, right? You can pay me on the training if that's even worth anything. I just, like, in the last part of my life, I want to be able to print with people and just chill out and smoke some weed and not have to worry about money or any shit like that, you know? What's the point of having money if you're going to die anyways, right? Hold on. I mean, I guess it's good while you're there, you know. I don't know, but the one reason that I am not worried about turning on the eco solvent is because I've made enough to survive on car decals with my UV DTF printer. I mean, just the car decals and the window decals, you know, that you would normally use for your eco solvent printer are enough to buy my groceries, get gas, buy my medicines and stuff like that. Bruno, you're in Framingham. Wow, amazing. So, yeah, good night, everybody. I got to get out of here. It's so hot, I'm sweating, and but I'm thankful. I'm thankful that the printers have somewhere to be, and they're kept in an environment where I can, you know, pop in a new print head or just, you know, work one and get one out. Such is life. All right, everybody. Good night. God bless. And hold on, I'm going to just try to put this lock on. Wow, I never know which one it is. All right, here endeth the lesson. The lesson is make sure that you have a shop. Bruno, do you have a shop, brother? Do you have a printing shop? All right, do I have my car keys? Because once I lock up, I can't get back in. I definitely need this solution here. Boy, you can't imagine the heat. Damn, just dropped my iPad. Gonna walk the keys out. Yeah, so other than that, there's no air conditioner back here, climate control. What a rough time. Not complaining though. Do all things without complaining, right? I don't know. Okay. All right, everybody, this is where I say good night. Have a good night, and God bless.